All right, we are live. Hi everyone again.
Hit that. All right, well, I'm doing the intros. Do you want me to kick it off then? Or?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. All right, so I thought of what I hope is going to be a fun way to do this. So we are going to do the whole like, hey, this is about me. And then you'll just like pick the next person who you want to introduce next. They're going to introduce themselves. While you guys are doing this, I'm going to write down where you're from, and I'm going to try to find like the coordinates of the average of where we are on the world. And then I will say, here's kind of where we are. So bear with me on that. But I will drop the questions here. And I think, yeah.
If you include Stacey and me in that, we're gonna skew it way to the west. So you can exclude us
right
from
in the
that.
middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, I don't want to land in the Atlantic, so
right. You can leave us out.
None of us do.
We can do one with you and then one without you.
Okay.
Anywho, all right. So I'll go first. I'm Kevin Faulting. I'm a developer over at 1Password, and I am currently in Manchester, UK, and my coding experience is basically a lot of banging my head against the keyboard, trying to figure things out, trying to make computers talk to each other. And somehow, some way, I was able to convince somebody to hire me. So yeah, I mean, just like a little bit of schooling, but mostly self-taught. Right now I program in Go or Golang. I think Go is the actual word. But yeah, so a lot of back-end stuff is what I do. A lot of MySQL and that sort of thing. I'm mentoring, so I hope to gain some experience doing this in general, obviously, but also to like learn from you guys, because you have a lot of questions and you're gonna force me to learn some stuff, and I'm really excited to do that as well. So it's gonna be a win-win, at least the way I think of this. So and then let's go with Abby. You go next.
Hi, my name's Abby and I live in Hull, which is in Yorkshire in the UK. My coding experience, apart from when I was a kid, when I was like 12 and I used to make websites with HTML and CSS, I started learning to code late last year, and I started coding in Python and then quickly moved into JavaScript because it seemed like a more accessible way to get coding web applications quickly. So I've been doing that pretty intensely every day, like a few hours every day. And I feel like I've learned a lot, but I'm hoping to gain experience working with a group. So coding on your own is one thing, but I feel like coding with all of you will be something completely different. And I'm really hoping to learn to work well in a team. Yeah, so I will pass it to Claire.
Hi everyone. So I'm currently in Dundee in the UK. Originally I'm from the Netherlands. I started coding, I think, in 2014. I'm an artist and I sort of figured out that you can also make art with code. So I started to do that. And then I sort of left it a little bit because I went to do a master's. Unfortunately, I think, because I should have kept coding, but like Abby, I also picked it up last year again. So I started to code and I made my little wall charts. So I started to tick off every day that I coded, and it sort of kept me going. So now I've almost coded a year straight, which I'm very proud of. And what I hope to gain is, yeah, again, sort of learning from everybody and also learning to code in unison or at least collaboratively. And I will pass it on to Bela.
Hi, everyone. I hear some echo. Okay. So my name is Bella. I live in Munich, in Germany. Originally, I'm from Albania, which is a really small country next to Greece, somewhere in the Balkan. My coding experience, I've studied computer engineering, but I really enjoyed coding when I started learning React and more JavaScript. But now I'm doing a little bit of everything. So a little bit of React and Redux and a little bit of Python in the backend where I work. And what do I hope to gain from here is to create some network, so to meet new people and also to learn from every one of you. And the next person is Luka.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Luka. I'm currently in New York, but originally from country of Georgia, but I've been living in New York past 10 years. So I'm kind of back and forth right now between Georgia and New York. My coding journey started in 2018. Just decided to teach myself how to code. And later in 2019, I went through the coding bootcamp. And since then, I've been like intensively coding a lot. I also joined Collab Lab in June 2020, and ever since I've been part of this organization because I love being here. I joined as a developer first, like you all, and later as a mentor, assistant mentor, and then as a mentor. So yeah, I'm super excited to be here, and I will pass it on to Nadinda.
Hello everyone, I'm Nadinda. I'm currently living in Hamburg, Germany. So hi Bella, we're in Germany. So, but I'm originally from Indonesia. My coding experience is a bit on and off because I coded as a little kid and then learned Pascal at high school, but I didn't take bachelor's degree in computer science or something. And then later in life, I think in 2018, I joined a coding bootcamp, and then I did twice actually. It was a scholarship based, so I'm happy to learn as much as I can. So, and then I worked, my first job is in 2019. And then I moved to Germany. And so actually I kind of stopped coding since I got COVID. And then so at the moment I'm going to be back and forth to hospital, like I still have hospital tag. So I'm sorry if I have less available time, but I'll try my best. And then what else? Okay, so my hope is just to have fun with you all. And I think I will pass to Zaki. This is Zaki.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Zysha. I'm from Africa, Rwanda, in East Africa, Rwanda. Yeah. So my coding journey, I've been coding like year and a half something. When I finished my high school, like I was interested, and because right now I'm doing my first year in applied technology, so that's when I just want to take like a lot about coding. Like I start teaching myself some stuff. Mainly, I've been learning JavaScript and a little bit React thing, and yeah. So my expectation here is I know I'm gonna make connection, and I'll be having a lot of friends. We're gonna be working as a team. There'll be a lot to share. So yeah, that's it. So who else? I think Andrew. I should give it to Andrew.
Yeah. Thanks, Sashi. Yeah, so I'm Andrew Hedges, and I am located in Portland, Oregon. So on the west coast of the United States. Oregon is the next state up from California. So everyone knows where California is. So my coding experience goes back to when I was about 13 years old. So back in the Stone Age. One summer I saved money mowing. I was mowing lawns, saving my money, and I bought myself a little personal computer, which back then, this is a 3D printed version of it, but it's called a TI-99. And you would connect it to your TV, you'd turn it on, and you'd be given just a basic prompt. So you had to program your own stuff. They had little cartridges, but mostly you just, like, I sat there with a manual and figured out how to do some programming. Convinced my parents to send me to computer camp the next year, where we were working on Apple IIe's. So that's how long ago this was. And then I didn't do much with it for a long time, and went to university, got a master's degree, worked in higher education for about 7 years. And then, like, in that time somewhere, they invented the web. So I started kind of messing around with that as a hobby, and eventually just decided that I wanted to do that instead. So I quit my job and just became a freelancer 1 year in 1998. So again, a long time ago. And yes, so I'm totally self-taught. I've taken a class here or there, but really it's just been kind of figuring this stuff out. But I had the advantage of starting when it was a lot simpler. So there's a lot more resources nowadays, but it's also a lot more complicated. So I don't know. I guess I'm here. What I hope to gain out of Collab Lab is, I mean, I gain a ton of satisfaction, kind of just you know, like through the pandemic, it really kept me going, just knowing that I had something meaningful to do to try to help other people. You know, I've had every advantage along the way, and so, you know, if I could do something to kind of open tech up to all of you, that'll be all the reward I need for this. So, so yeah, so super happy to be here, and I think Jamaica, you haven't gone, so, and then Stacey probably, right?
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Okay, my name is Jamaica. I'm in Nigeria right now, and my coding experience, I started coding last year, March, during the pandemic. I was initially working as a medical lab scientist, and during that time we had a lot of time, so I discovered Tech Twitter, and then I started doing a lot of free stuff and then learning on my own. Shortly after that, I joined the bootcamp, and then I graduated, joined Collab Lab as a developer January this year, January, and then did Career Lab, graduated from it, and then started looking for my first job. And then I got my first tech job June last month. And now I came back as an assistant mentor for this cohort. Yeah, so I hope to learn from the developers, because I'm still new myself. Even though I'm working with React at work, so I'm still looking towards learning more of React and things to do and things not to do, state management, all of that stuff. I'm still really getting used to them very well. So I'm really looking forward to learning from the developers, the mentors, everybody. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Everyone has gone.
That's me
Bye.
too.
Stacey,
and I also have another person to introduce that's not here today. So hi, I'm Stacey, first of all.
Oh.
I'm in California, in the United States, California. These are my kids, there's two of them. What were the other questions? Oh, my coding experience. So I was a bootcamp grad and I started freelancing whenever I got out of bootcamp, which I thought was a terrible idea. Like, as a junior developer, there wasn't enough support for me. I ended up working quadruple the hours I was charging for because I was embarrassed that I was taking so much time to do things. So anyway, and went on to, now I'm a developer at Zapier on the front end. I need you to be quiet for a second. Anyway, what I hope to get out of this is I want to see tech be more diverse. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm so passionate about Collab Lab. I'm really sick of seeing underrepresented people and moms and really great people who could make the world a better place be passed up on because they don't have the experience that recruiters and hiring managers think is enough. So we're here trying to give people the experiences that they need to get in those developer seats so that you can bust down the doors for more people like us. So that's why I'm here. I am not directly mentoring any teams this round, but I am a code of conduct responder. All of our code of conduct responders have been professionally trained. Mila, can you please be patient 1 second? At the Collab Lab, we're really passionate and dedicated to our code of conduct because we want to create a really psychologically safe space for all of our collabs, whether that's participants or mentors or tech talk speakers. We want everybody to have a really great experience and learn and grow in a healthy and positive way here. So if you haven't really had time to review the code of conduct, please go do that. It's on our website, and hold yourselves and each other accountable for making sure that we create that safe space for everybody. That being said, every team at Collab Lab has their own code of conduct responder. Yours will be Michelle Sake, and here's her details in the chat. She couldn't make it today, but she will be at your other meetings. And in about 2 weeks, Michelle will be having a one-on-one with each of you just to talk about how things are going. And it's really just your space to say anything that you need to say and talk about anything you want to talk about. If you need help with code of conduct, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if something didn't make you feel comfortable, do not ever hesitate to reach out. We are absolutely here for you and want to make things right and want to make sure that this is a good space for you. So I'm here for you. Michelle's here for you. You can reach our whole group of professionally trained code of conduct responders at codeofconduct@thecollablab.codes. I'll put that in the chat too. And that's it from me. I'm so glad to see you all.
All right, so we've got around, we picked everybody up, and we have landed in the beautiful country of Spain in a tiny town called Santa Maria de los Llanos. And it's just outside Madrid. And apparently it's just a tiny little village. And I think we would all like it. And then we could go to Madrid and hang out there. So in your mind, I guess you could think, we've made our way to Madrid somehow. Yay. All right, so that's it. That's all the introductions. So I guess we could, at least that's done with my part of it. I didn't have any other planned content here, so.
All right. Yeah, thank you, Kevin. That's pretty interesting that we landed in Spain. I love it. Yeah, so like in terms of our agenda, next thing we will discuss is to, I'm going to present a learning module about Git and what we will need in terms of this project to use the GitHub. So I will be sharing my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
Awesome. All right, so how to Git at the Collab Lab. Many of you might have already used GitHub and you might know some commands, some of you may not. So we will be covering some of the details that you will need to collaborate here and use the source control management system. So the GitHub is like source control management system where you can kind of upload your code and collaborate with others to work on the same project. So there is a lot of commands there on GitHub, but these are some of the things, some of the basics that we will definitely need for this project, which are creating and switching branches. That's like a Git checkout. Also Git add, staging changes, saving changes in history by doing Git commit, sending changes to GitHub, meaning to like push up your changes to the repository, getting the latest changes to pull down. So once you have some of the changes on the repo, you will need also to pull down those updates on your local machine. Also getting your changes into main by also creating PR. And we will discuss all of this in more details. So some of the terms we use are repository. In short, we say repo, which is a collection of files under the source control like Git. So the repository is like on GitHub. So it's like a TCL-29. That's where our code lives and all the files. Oops. We also have remote. Remote is the origin repository somewhere online. So we have local repository on our local machines, but we also have the origin, so the main repository that lives somewhere on the server. And in this case, our remote is on GitHub. We also have branch, which is a working copy of the repository. The main branch is the source of truth. Branches are basically the copy of the repository. And when we want to make new changes to the project, we create new branches. After we are done with those changes, we merge these branches, this branch to the main. And main, again, it's a source of truth where we all collaborate, where all the collaboration comes together. Commit, it's a set of changes to the repo. So once we make changes, we commit those changes. They are so we stage those changes and then we commit those changes to the GitHub. Head refers to the last commit. So it's a head is a pointer of the history that shows the latest commits to our project. Pull requests. So as mentioned, in short, it's a PR. It's a document that we create before we merge our branches. And the main idea of PRs is to document all of our changes, what changes we made and why we made those changes. And then after creating the PR, we merge our changes to the main. Also, please feel free to stop me in between if you have any questions or if there are any things that needs to be kind of explained in more detail. So this is kind of a graph. It's like a tree that shows the history of the repository. So, for example, I mean the yellow dots here. These are the Zashi. Yeah, you have the question.
Yeah, I actually didn't understand about PR, like pull requests. I always get this term, but I don't really understand very well.
Yeah, sure. So PR. So in terms of the idea of PR is to it's like a template in our case, and I will show this in a moment when I do the demo. But it's a document where we list down or write down what changes we made and why we made those changes. And through PR, you can also see the actual code that was changed in the branch. And through the PR, you can compare like old code and new code that was committed to that branch. And I will show it to you in more details at the end when I demo.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Any other questions before I move on? Okay. So this is like a graph to better visualize how the Git flow works. So the yellow dots are the main branch, and in the beginning we might have some initial commits, for example, some initial files that were committed to our repository. Next, we might have had some button that needs to be added. So we added a button and oops, sorry. So now as we want to make new changes, we create a new branch, which kind of branches out from the main branch. And by doing so, for example, if we want to add some styles to this button, we will create a new branch. Maybe we will call this branch add styles, and we will commit new changes in terms of styles. We might also add some tests to this branch, and we can do as much commits as we want to a new branch. So once our changes are all committed to our branch, we can go ahead and merge it to the main. But also, sorry to be clear, there can be another kind of changes added to our repository into the main. That maybe some other pairs worked on, for example, like update text. So while we are working on our branch, there might be changes into the main. So when we go ahead and merge our changes, it will all kind of sit on the same history line that are shown like on the bottom here. So after someone committed a change to update text for the button, we have added some styles and added some tests, so they will also sit right after updated text commit, and that lives in the history of the repository. Okay. So now some commands that we will be using. One very important command we will be using very often is git checkout. So git checkout has two purposes. One is to switch between the branches. So for example, if your branch is in the main, you can do git checkout and the cool future, for example, the branch name, and it will switch your branches to a new one. We also use git checkout to create a new branch. For example, the branch named new future will be created with git checkout -b and the name of a new branch. Another important command that we will be using is staging changes. It's git add command. So right after we make changes to our code base, we will stage those changes to prepare for commit. And to do it, the command is git add. So as you know, like when you are working to your project, you might have different changes to different files. So for example, if you want to specifically stage changes to a specific file, you would do git add / the name of the file. But if you want to stage all of the changes that you did to your project, you will do git /a, or in short, I usually use git add space and dot. And that will also stage all of your changes. So right after staging our changes, we will need to commit those changes. And for that, the command is to hit git commit. So git commit without any extra kind of explanations would be, we'll open an editor to write a message or commit a message. But usually, how I usually do it, or like I would say for me, it's easier to do git commit /m, and then you can write your commit message like that. Git commit /am takes an initial message, commit stages, and tracked files. So you can use that command as well. And git push. So right after we stage our changes and we commit those changes, next step would be to take all commits and upload them to our remote. So git push /u origin. You will be using this command when you are committing your new branch to the remote for the first time, but next time you will just easily can do git push and it will upload or it will push your changes to the remote. So you add an upstream reference to the remote. This only needs to be done once per branch, as I mentioned, and after you can just do git push and it will kind of add all of your or commits all of your changes to the remote. Another very important command is git pull. So as you all know, we will be simultaneously working on different branches. So before we make any new commits or changes, or before we add any new commits to our project, it's important to pull down all other changes that exist in our remote in the main project. And the command for that is git pull. It will pull down all of those changes and update your local repository with either new changes or branches or whatever changes happened to the project. So it's always a good habit to switch to the main, pull down all the changes, and then switch or check out back to your branch, make changes, and then commit them to the origin. Yeah, this is a main kind of view on GitHub when you go to your repository. We have pull requests right here, which I will be showing you in a minute as a demo. And here is a new pull request button that will help you to open a PR when committing, when adding your branch to the main. Merge conflicts. So merge conflicts are pretty common. Do not be scared of them. These conflicts will happen, but we can definitely kind of we will be able to resolve all these conflicts. But this happens all the time, so do not be scared of them. So Git conflicts are caused when Git can't figure out how to resolve changes to the same file from two different branches. So for example, two pairs might be working on two different branches, and they can kind of change same exact lines in the project. So when it happens, Git cannot figure out which change to leave while merging to the main. So it's about kind of going back to the code in VS Code and resolving these merge requests through this like visualizing tools that you will see in your VS Code. But other than that, there are some guides to see how to resolve those merge conflicts. And us as mentors, we are always here to help and resolve those merge conflicts. It's going to be like a second like nature for you once you go through this once. So don't be scared, but just like be willing to have like these merge conflicts, because you will learn it and you won't ever be scared of them anymore. So look up for them. And finally, some resources. There is a Git documentation that has like pretty robust and like detailed explanation of how to use Git. If there are some basic terms there, but also like it goes very deep into using the GitHub. There is also Atlassian Git tutorial, as well as Google and Stack Overflow. And again, of course, you can always ping us in Slack. And if you have any questions, we are always there to jump in and help you resolving any of the issues. Yeah, any questions before I move forward with the demo? Yeah, let me check. Real quick. All right. Yeah, I will go ahead and do a quick demo as to how to create a new branch and then push it up to our remote on GitHub. So I will open up my terminal. So I just opened our project, TCL-29. So there we go. Basically, I have not pulled down any changes after I committed mine. So first step, as I mentioned, and it's like very important to Git pull down all the changes that are on the remote, and those changes do not exist on my local computer yet. So I will pull down all of these changes, and as you can see, it got updated. Now, for example, if I want to create a new branch, I will use the command that we discussed, git checkout -b, and I will call this branch test demo.
You got a typo in your command, Luka.
Oops. Thank you.
Beautiful.
And there we go. So I just created a new branch. If you do git branch, you will see that now we have two different branches, which are main branch and also test demo that I just created. So when you create a new branch, you are automatically kind of switched to that branch. And you can see also the message over there that when you created them branch, it switched to a new one. I will make some changes now to my contributors file, maybe. Say git learning module. So once I made this change, I can use the command git status. This will show me which files were modified and which files need to be committed to our remote. So I will go ahead and stage my changes by doing git add space dot. This way my changes are staged now, and you can check it by doing git status again. So you can see that the red changed to green because it's staged. Next command will be to git commit, and I'll add a message here. Okay, now my changes are committed. We have some tools that are running like linting, changing like the format of text or code. So these changes are committed, and now I can go ahead and push. So for the first time, when you commit your new branch, you will be using git push -u origin and the branch name. And now you can see that automatically GitHub showed me that my branch was pushed to the remote, and it's ready to compare and create a pull request. So just to explain it better for Zysha, you can see that when you compare and when you press compare and pull request, you are redirected to the pull request template. And here you will be filling this out, the description, what changes were made, why you made those changes, and you will create a pull request.
Luka, maybe here's a good point to show how to make a draft pull request as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have an option also to create a draft pull request by clicking this arrow button right here. And after selecting create draft pull request, you can, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it right now. So as you can see, the draft pull request was created. I didn't fill out this information, but you can see that you can write down the description, related issues, and so on. So the difference between draft pull request and just regular pull request are that you cannot merge draft pull requests to the main, if I'm not mistaken. This is just for like yourself to communicate between your team, ask some questions, or request others to review your pull request. And once it's ready, you can go ahead and create the regular pull request that will be then merged to the main branch. Okay, anything I'm forgetting here?
Yeah, those draft pull requests are really useful for just having conversations about the work. So because you have the ability to actually sort of annotate the code itself. So you can, if you're working with your partner and you have some of the code is in there, and you say, tell me more about why you did this, or like maybe change this to a different method or something. So it's a great way to keep the code close to the conversation.
Another conversation piece that I'll see a lot of times in draft pull requests is on the line of code. So Luka, if you switch to the files changed,
Absolutely.
if you're having, like, if you get stuck on something, if you're like, I don't really know what to do here, or this line's causing an error, or I have a question about this line, you can just click next to one of the lines and leave a comment like on that actual line of code. If you're asking your partner like, hey, Zysha, or whoever I'm partnering with, can you look at this and tell me what you think? It's a really great way to like communicate right there with your code. Yay. That's exactly right.
So if I'm getting it right, like when you want someone to review your changes, you have to make your pull request a draft before you create a PR.
The point of the PR is to have that review. So it kind of depends on what stage in the process you're in. If you're working with your partner on your code for the week and you have a question for your partner or for a mentor, your pull request will probably be in the draft state. But when you're ready for the other pair to review it or your mentors to review it, then you'll make it a regular pull request and go through kind of the official review process. And then you'll merge that code into the main branch.
Yep. Yeah, so once like you are thinking that you are ready to share your pull request with other peers and other mentors, you can create the official PR and ask others to comment on your code and ask for suggestions and so on. All right, so I think I will be finishing the demo here, and why don't we take some time and as you pairs, or actually we can go through the issues for the upcoming issues, and then we can, as a pair, create new branches to practice all of that we learned right now. Jamaica, do you want to go ahead and
okay,
the issues?
Luka, I wanted to ask the draft pull request. I've not used it before. So if you want to create an actual pull request, how do you do that? You start all over, or is there a way to convert the draft to an actual pull request?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let me. So I'll share my screen again. So yeah, would you help me here, Andrew or Stacey?
Yeah. That ready for review button is how you would change that from a draft to a regular pull request. And then the nice thing about the drafts is that they can't be merged. So you see, like, the merge button here is disabled. So you can safely kind of have conversations and not worry that someone thinks it's done and merges it for you or something. And then when it's ready for review, it's put in a state where it can be merged. That's also kind of indicates that you want people to look at it and give you feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that ready for review button will take you to this state of PR, which is already ready for either like more requests for reviews or for the merge pull request.
Okay.
Yeah, any questions, feel free to ask like in a chat or on our Slack.
Okay, we'll talk about the issues now. So this is our repo for TCL-29, and then when you want to see the issues, the issues represent the different features we are going to implement for this project. And if you want to see the different issues, you navigate to this tab, Projects tab, TCL-29 Smart Shopping List issues. And then here by the left, you see all of the issues we are going to do. The first one is as a component, I want to be able to read from and write to the Firestore database so that users can persist information. I'll take it again as a component. I want to be able to read from and then write to the Firestore database so that users can persist information. So we have a couple of ACs, acceptance criteria. This means that there are criteria on which your issue, your pull request to be merged if they meet these ACs, the three of them in this case. So the first one is the following have been added as project dependencies: Firebase and then React Firebase hooks. So it means that for your pull request to be merged, it has to have the following dependencies added: Firebase and then React Firebase hooks. The second one is make a change in the Firestore database and it shows up in the app. And then the third one is make a change in the app and it shows up in the Firestore database. Notes, don't do too much here. In the past, pairs have built the whole add item form in the first week. The best approach is just to make a throwaway view with a button and then a div click the button to send some data to the database, then have the data show up in the div. Simple. So this first issue is actually about setting up the Firebase Firestore database. So we're using the Firebase Firestore to persist our data. So this first issue is just about setting it up and making sure that we can read from the database and then we can write to the database. So we are not actually building the form, the add item form yet, but you can just put in one input field and then a button, and then you have a div to show. So somebody can type in the input field and then hit the button, it will send the data to the database. And then you have somewhere else where you can read, do a GET request from the database to display the data already in the database. So that's what this first issue is about. And then the second note is also, if you need more direction on how to use React Firebase hooks, you can reference this commit from Alejandro. The link is right there on the issue. And then also watch this video for help. Do you understand the first issue? Is there any question? It's just about communication with the database. With our database, you download Firebase, you download the React Firebase hooks, set everything up. We are not building the form yet. We just want to be sure that everything is set as regards persisting data. Okay, no questions. All right. This is the second issue. Sorry. Okay. So the second issue says, as a user, I want to be able to navigate between the list view and the add an item view so that the interface is clearly delineated between viewing and adding. Then the acceptance criteria, number one is React Router DOM has been added as a project dependency. Links are present and persistent at the bottom of the app. Then one for the list view, the other for the add an item view. When one of the links is clicked, the browser URL updates to represent the current view and a matching view component is displayed. Whichever view is selected, the corresponding link should display in bold text. Then the note, some pairs have gone straight to wanting to integrate the CSS framework. Keep the links pinned to the bottom of the page. So you are encouraged to keep it simple at this point, position fix, or look into a CSS tutorial on CSS grid. So it's trying to say that for now, okay, this issue is talking about creating a navigation between list view and then the add an item view. That this delineated, when you're in the list view, something should mark that you're in the list view. And when you're in the add an item view, something should indicate that you're in a different page, that the two pages should look different somehow. You can just use a text, list page or add an item page, to just mark the differences between the links on the bottom of the page. So, and the notes is saying that you don't have to use a CSS framework now. We are going to have time, and there's an issue that styling the app. So nothing too complicated for now, as we definitely choose a CSS framework and then we'll start styling. You get to style the app anyhow you want. Yeah, so.
Yep.
Do you have any? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great explanation. Thank you, Jamaica. Yeah, so as Jamaica mentioned, we will have like last 3 weeks of the project will be about like designing our application. So for this first 2 issues, do not worry too much about designing the application. Just simply try to create 2 navigation buttons at the bottom of the page, list view and so yeah, list view and add item view. And also just like switching the the navigation buttons with bold when you click them. That's going to be all about for that issue.
Yeah. Is there any questions from the dev? So that we can, so we are supposed to pair. So each pair will take one issue. Then, so if you need, it's okay if you don't have any questions now. We are always available for you in the
question.
Okay.
Do each pair like just pick one, or is it going to be assigned?
You can pick what you prefer.
Oh, okay.
So just to mention, like for the first week, we have Abby and Nadinda as pairs, and Claire and Sashi. So.
Okay.
Abby and Nadinda, do you have any preference, or Claire and Sashi?
I don't have a preference at the moment, so I don't know.
Yeah, we can randomly assign that's okay. So Abby and Nadinda, would you take like the first issue? Would you be okay to take the first issue?
Yeah, I was going to say I would quite like to do it because I've not used Firebase, so it would be good to learn about that.
Yeah, sure.
Me too. Like, is it possible I can also work on the first issue? Or
so Jamaica, do you want me to assign them, or okay?
So it's actually like one pair will actually code it, and the other pair will code review it. So you'll have a chance to kind of review the code even if you're not working on it. And then in future weeks you'll be interacting with Firebase a lot. So
yeah,
don't worry if you're not the one kind of implementing it right now. You'll have plenty of experience with Firestore as we go.
okay, yeah, no problem.
It's 6 o'clock.
Luka, do you mean on GitHub?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do it.
yeah, you can write like where you see assigns. Just click the settings icon.
Okay.
And then you can select people from there. So I do know that like we are past like 1 hour already, but if you all have another like maybe 10 minutes, we could stick around and like create new branches. Otherwise, if you are busy, like it's totally okay to do it like separately in the Slack, and you can try it on your own. And if you have any issues, like we are always here to jump and help, but it would be nice if we set up these branches together. Are you all okay to like stick around another 10 minutes? Is it okay?
So Jamaica, I think it was going to be Abby and Nadinda who did issue 1. Is that right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And help her out if you see your GitHub profile there. I know not all of them have your actual names. Yeah.
Nadinda. Yeah.
My username is just Nadinda, so that's easy.
Yeah, my username is Sponberry, so that's a little bit more difficult.
Is it Abby? Abby, what's your own?
Yeah.
This one?
It's Spon. Let me have a look.
SPON.
Yeah,
I think.
that's it.
Which one? I can't see
it. SPON. So Sierra,
there
Papa.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Claire?
Good.
My username is Black Bureau.
Okay. All right. All right. All right.
And
Nice.
awesome. So yeah, well, why don't you? So maybe Nadinda or Abby, do you want to share your screen? Like one of you can share your screen, and let's create a branch for your issue. Let's do it.
It's great practice for next week when you're going to be sharing your screen and demoing. So that's something good to get used to.
Do you want me to do it, Nadinda, or would you rather?
You can do it, I think. I haven't set up.
Okay, let me get the. Okay, so share screen. 1 second, I need to grant Zoom access to my screen.
I wonder if it's gonna have to restart or something, or it's gonna kick you out.
Yeah, that's what it said. It says I have to quit before it will let me do it.
I think that should be fine. Yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, you should be good to yeah, you gotta quit, shut down Zoom, and then
Yeah,
you can
and then I'll
rejoin
pop
the
back
meeting.
in. Okay, I'll be 1 second.
Yep.
All right, good. In the meantime, does the other pair maybe want to do their branch?
Yeah.
While we're waiting for it?
Maybe Claire or Sashi.
Although they may have the same issue with the permissions, but we'll find out.
I have a question about branch.
Yep.
Do we have name convention?
Yes, we do. So the Hi, Abby. So the naming convention for branches are the initials of the pair. So for example, NR and also like Abby's initials, and just a small description of the future that you are working. For example, if you are working on a Firebase issue, maybe add Firebase, like that would be like a small description of the branch.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can share this now. I think it's worked.
Yep.
Okay, great. So I guess I start by pulling.
Yep.
So
I think you need to CD into the project.
yeah, I do. Okay. Okay. And then to make a new branch, then I use git checkout and B.
Yep.
And then what would I call it? We've got an issue.
Yeah, so the initials of one person, dash, and the initials of the other person, dash, and then the description. And NR.
NR, thank you.
Yep.
And then like issue Firebase or something?
Sure. Yeah, anything unique, really.
Okay. Aha.
Cool.
Okay, then do I need to do something else do I have to make changes before I push it?
No.
Yeah, right now, you have a new branch that's just local to your machine. So GitHub doesn't know anything about the branch. So you need to push it up to GitHub.
Okay. So,
And a little trick actually that I learned from a meeting yesterday is if you just do git push and hit return, it's not going to work, but it's going to show you the command that you need to do this. So that's kind of handy.
okay.
So just hit return and then
being like, help me.
Yeah, so you just can copy that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's like a cheat code or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super helpful. I lean on that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of terminal commands and bash.
Yeah. So now what you guys did was that set up upstream. So the origin is GitHub for that's how we have our project set up. Setting the upstream means that in the future you can just git push without having to do all the set upstream and all that stuff. Like that branch now and GitHub know about each other, so you can just git push from now on.
Okay, and then when I've made changes, will that appear in here?
When you push them.
When I've pushed my changes, yeah.
Yeah. So when you git commit, it'll be local to your machine, and then when you get push, it'll push it up to GitHub.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can check out your branch. So if you go to like code section right here, you can click the like main and little arrow, or branch, and you will see that your branch is created and it's up on the remote.
Ah, yeah. Okay, that's great.
So now Nadinda can, like if Nadinda shares the screen, Nadinda, you can take the step to like git pull.
Oh, I already did it. Oh, sorry.
Good.
Great. Cool.
Yay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, if you want to maybe share and like do it. I know that you already have it on your machine, but maybe
can do that. Yes.
Like present it. It's be cool.
Or you can just do git branch and show us that it's there.
Yeah.
So my last. It's.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Your branch is up to date with origin and issue target.
Nice. Awesome.
Good job.
Great job.
And if your terminal there isn't showing you what branch you're in, VS Code will show you down there in the bottom left-hand corner.
Oh yeah.
So it tells you what branch that you're actually in.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you use that to switch branches? That'd be pretty cool. Like you click on it.
Oh, I don't know.
Does it do anything?
Oh, you mean like this?
No, down the bottom left. Oh, wait.
Yes, it changed.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess it does.
Yep. I mean,
nice. That's cool. All right.
So that works. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So Claire or Zashi, do you want to share your screen and let's go through the same process?
So I'm a little lost. I thought I was supposed to do this whole process via the command line, but it's actually on GitHub itself. Is that it, or?
No, yeah, you can do it. You should do it from the command line. It'll show up in GitHub though.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
The. Sorry, I'm just trying to share my screen.
Click the green button at the bottom.
So
nice.
So this is where I am.
Hey,
no.
Sorry to interrupt. So maybe like first step could be to like pull down all the changes that already exist to the origin, to the remote branch, so that like you don't miss anything before making any changes.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a good call.
first
I do that a lot.
Perfect.
Okay, so I've got the changes that were made, and then I'm going to make my own changes.
You can create a new branch.
Yeah, so that's Git checkout, right?
Yep.
Oh wait, no, you wrote CD
You wrote,
checkout.
you wrote CD.
Oh, sugar, sorry.
Muscle memory, I think.
Yeah, Git checkout. And then maybe call it something like
So it
list
be
item or something. Because
so yeah, so it would be like first like initials of your names, like your initials, Zashi's initials, and then small description.
yeah, I was thinking maybe something like list, something like this. What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine, but make sure you have your initials in there too.
Yeah. Oh, I thought just the first initial of everyone's.
Oh, yeah. Usually what we do is like, CY and Z. I don't know what your last name is.
ZI.
ZI. Yeah.
ZI.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great.
Right, editing in the terminal is hard.
Yeah, it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a challenge, but hey. So this is, yeah, I guess this is it, isn't it?
Yeah,
that looks good.
That's good.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So again, now this branch is on your local machine, but GitHub doesn't know anything about it yet. So we have to push the branch up to GitHub. And there's the cheat code.
So you can copy and paste the instruction.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yep, of course.
The command that it gives you when you press git push, it's different than the one that was in the presentation. I think it was git push u origin branch name. Do they both do the same thing?
Yes. Yeah, so -u is a shorthand for -- set upstream.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, which is a pretty common thing in Unix in general, in these kind of command line things where there's, like you could do -- verbose, but a -v will do the same thing. Like it's, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
So yeah, so this branch should be like on GitHub now, and Zashi, if you share your screen, you can like maybe walk us through like pulling down the branch to your local machine.
Yeah, let me share it.
Yeah, great job, Claire.
Stop sharing.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, perfect.
Perfect.
Okay. You can see my screen, right?
Yep.
I'm reading the project right here. Yeah, so to git pull. Is the branch was okay. Git checkout. Is it? I don't know. We would like to check. Is it ZI something? Because
dash CY dash CY, sorry.
I think it
not
was
CY.
C.
CY.
List item.
Then
List dash item.
Okay. Claire, can you share the name?
Oh, it's a list.
Yeah, it's a list dash item.
Okay.
Great.
Then okay, it's done, I guess, right?
Yeah, you're done. Yep. So you see it says set up to track remote branch. So that's how you know that your branch is connected to the one that's on GitHub.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
Awesome. Great job, everyone. Yes, so we have these dedicated branches for like each individual issues, and we will be working in these branches to like make changes and commit them, and then finally create a pull request, do some reviewing, and then merge these branches to our main branch. It's going to be the process. Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, I think Claire has one.
Hi, is it possible to get the slides that you had in the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. I will be sharing slides in the Slack. And also, like, we are recording this meeting, and you can also like rewatch it on YouTube once we upload it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Cool. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking around like another 20 minutes. I appreciate your time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so we also have office hours. I guess you all know about office hours. It's 1 hour per week where we are in a Zoom call and you can ask questions regarding issues or anything you have. I created a doodle and you have it in the Slack at the team. So you can just put where you are available, and I will choose a time where everyone is available and then invite you to the calendar. But I will let you know in Slack. Just select the doodle and that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, we will also be sharing pairing threads in the Slack. So these threads will be like dedicated for discussing the upcoming issue with your pair. Like you can like figure out the timing, when you want to meet, how you want to meet, and like what you want to work on. This way, like all this like information will be like in one space, and we all can like jump in and see if we can be helpful. So yeah, make sure to kind of utilize this thread option in Slack. Other than that, yeah, please feel free to like ask any questions you have, because like we are all here to help and work with you. Yeah, just like try to be as noisy as you can, ask any questions, share any thoughts, any knowledge you have, and we will be always there to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you in Slack. Please make sure to be noisy over there.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good job.
Thank you.